Look out the rocket launcher. I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man SGod.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalize, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called TheMan-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed, remain calm. You on the road and chill, do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's SGod. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man SGod. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man SGod TOD. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
What's good? What's good? Welcome, Knicks Nation. Welcome, Blue and Orange. Welcome to another episode of the Man-Cave podcast. And on this podcast, we're going to be talking Knicks basketball on a Friday night. I mean, what else to do? It's a Friday night. We're just going to be chilling, talking Knicks basketball. Yeah, I know the season ended. You know, it didn't end the way that Knicks fans wanted to end. But, hey, we're going to be on here, man, talking Knicks basketball, man, and stuff like that. So, hey, just sit back, relax. You know, so you see the thumbnail. We're going to talk Knicks, you know, roundtable talk, end of season review, and also should the Knicks run it back? You know, but before we get started, I'm gonna introduce some of my co-hosts tonight. You know, first up, we got from Knicks Cast, my man Luca. You know what I'm saying? Go check him out on Knicks Cast podcast. You know, so go to his channel, subscribe, hit that like button. You know, saying Luca, how you feeling tonight, man?
I'm feeling good. You know, it's been a bit since we've talked Knicks and all that. I know we were on for Game 6 together jointly, but you know, obviously, as you mentioned, that we didn't want the season ended the way we didn't want it. You know, obviously, the big nail in the coffin was Jalen Brunson, you know, fracturing his hand in Game 7. But even then, just the injuries were too much to overcome. But you can't underestimate how much the fans are proud of this team. You know, they just represent New York, the Knicks, not just the Knicks in general, but this Knicks team specifically, because they're mentally tough. They don't make excuses. The grit is all there. You know, it's all the way up from each level down. And, you know, you got to love it. But obviously, we'll be talking about the Knicks offseason, you know, whether the Knicks should run it back. Should they trade Julius Randle? What should they add? Should they add some supplements? Should they draft players? You know, all of that. But I'm just excited to talk some Knicks finally.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to introduce another host, man. This is one of my childhood friends, man. He's coming to the stage, man. My boy Demetrius coming to the stage talking Knicks basketball. You know, been childhood friends since like elementary school and stuff like that. We're talking Knicks. So you know what I'm saying, meet Luca. You know what I'm saying?
Luca, what up?
He's another podcaster. He got his own channel, so you can subscribe to his channel, Knicks Cast and stuff like that. I don't know if you did or not, but yeah, he always talking Knicks content, you know, Giants, stuff like that. So we all going to subscribe to it. You know, everybody watching on Twitter, YouTube, you know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If it's your first time to this channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And also hit that notification bell, man. So that way you know when I'm coming on, or even any other content creators, man. You know, that's very important for us, you know, because that's like also that like button, that it helps the algorithm, man. So, you know, push it to the front. So get on here, you know, talk Knicks content, man, Giants content, bring you all the good stuff, man. So, hey, I know it's a Friday night, man. Everybody's sitting, chilling, man. Ain't nothing to do with the dog days of summer. I know the playoffs are still going on, you know. Well, the NBA finals are set now with Boston versus Dallas. You know, I didn't see too much of that coming, but that's why they play the games. You know what I'm saying? And as a Knicks fan, I know, like I said before, the season didn't end the way we wanted to, but guess what? We did more with less. And like I said, along the way, we gained so many followers and admirers, and people who was not even Knicks fans was like, yo, that Knicks team, man. He said, I don't like New York, but hey, I grew to like them guys because they was playing with grit and toughness, you know, and the Knicks motto is no grit, no quit. You know, that's what we are. You know what I'm saying, is a blue collar team. That's what we do, man. Like I said, so we're gonna talk our talk tonight about the Knicks. Going forward, like the Knicks, the end of review, how you felt like the Knicks season went, and also should we run it back? And also, if you hear some rumors and like all the trade rumors and things like that, what the Knicks gonna do in the all season. So we're gonna unpack all that tonight, man. But first off, Demi, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good. Like I was just listening to Luca. I think, if we get a chance, I think we should run it back. I think a lot of you know, with Hardstarn getting that looking to get the contract he's looking to get. I don't know how that's going to fit with signing everybody else, but I just wish we would throw him a bone, maybe get him back for 1 year just as a loaner to see where everything goes, and then sign the right pieces and bring it back.
Okay,
They
yeah,
had a very good season with less than half, like less than a full team. You think about the pieces that if we had and the reserves that could have been like
Ogie.
yeah, OG and Devicino splitting minutes and Hart, he's not running 48 minutes. I mean, the series would have been a lot different. I think we would have had close to 4-1 series or even close to a sweep. Indiana wasn't that tough to us, so we had a full squad.
Right. I'm just say like this. For me, I'm gonna just put it into whole perspective. Like when the season first started, yeah, I mean, what we talking about? What, fourth seed or fifth seed or something like that when the season started?
Easily, yeah.
Because, we still had it quickly, Barrett and things like that, and we didn't know how we was gonna really do this season. But like I said, as the season went on, like I said, we kind of changed course, so we made that big trade for OG and Anobi and traded Barrett and quickly, and that kind of changed our fortunes because at the end of the day, I mean, when Randall was there, the only person who was missing was Mitch, and we went, I think I want to say 15-2 or 16-2 or something like that. I mean, we was dominating teams. I mean, we blew out Minnesota by 30. We blew out Denver by 30. We blew the Sixers out by 30. I mean, them guys was no match for us, man. I mean, and that's what it's like. So it's like, this is like, it was 2 seasons in one. And like I said, it's just like it changed the trajectory of our team. Now it's like we going from like thinking like, oh, we only a 4th or 5th seed to now thinking next year, if we bring it back, we're going to be championship or bust. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, if we could stay healthy, and our main thing is health. That's the main thing is health. If we can stay healthy, I don't fear nobody. I think Knicks going to have a great season because we have depth. We have a lot of things like a lot of teams don't have is depth. Like I said, Boston, they're top heavy. They have no bench really. Milwaukee, they a team that's like after the starters, you don't know what you're going to get because Doc Rivers is the coach now. Milwaukee used to be an up and down team. They used to be a high scoring team, but now they're more of a slower down defensive team. So I don't know if that's going to work for them. So you don't know what you're going to get with Milwaukee and Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, next year, they got a lot of money so they probably going to get somebody, but they came back like with the same. I'm not scared of Philadelphia. Like I said, we ran them dudes through the you know what I'm saying, without a full healthy squad. So right now, if I had to look at it going into next season, I'm thinking like the Knicks could win the Atlantic Division over Boston. I mean, it all depends on what we do in the offseason. If we run it back, it all depends on what's going to happen. So we don't know that. But if we used to run it back with this same squad and Boston had kind of like the same, I feel good that we could beat them guys. Because the one thing that Boston don't do well is play in the post. They got scores on the wings and things like that, but they're very weak in the post. And if you got a team that's going to feast on the post in them guys, you're going to get them because they really don't have a post presence. I mean, Al Horford is like 60 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're not basing it off Al Horford. You're basing it off of Porzingis.
Yeah, man, Porzingis.
Him staying healthy.
No, but the thing with Porzingis is he's more of an outside player. He's not a post player. He does most of his work on the outside, so he's not really going to be in the post like that. You saw when he was with us. I mean, he still can even back down guards. He was posting.
Yeah, but that was his first couple of years. I think now he's changed.
Nah, that's still the same.
Man, listen, he shoots the 3 to open up the middle for their team because it leaves more room for Jaylen Brown and Tatum to do their thing. But the fact is, when he has a mismatch, there's no way at his frame he wouldn't use his length on a 6'9" or a 6'8" guy.
He
He's
uses.
going to go in that post to do a little jump hook in the lane.
Yeah, but you see a lot of teams put smaller guards on him because they get underneath him and he really can't root them guys out, and that's what they do to get away with putting that because his base is not strong. His base still isn't strong yet. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I mean, if he turns into a turnaround jump shot, you ain't gonna block it because he's like 7'4". You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
You can shoot right over the top of most guys.
Yeah, so like I said, but like I said, yeah. So that's my thing with the whole season thing. Like I said, we were a team. Like I said, the first half of the season, we had the other guys with Barrett and Quickly and stuff like that, and we were looking like a fifth seed, at the most, fifth or fourth seed, But then after we made the trade, now it's like it changed the trajectory of the team because now it's like, yo, we got a wing player. And you know what I'm saying? And then plus we also got like, Bogey and Burks and stuff like that for depth from the bench and stuff like that. And we was wearing teams down. So it's like now it's like, hey, you look at coming up this season, like I said, if we run it back, hey, I look for bigger and better things. But our main thing is health, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if we was healthy, we would still be playing right now. We would still be playing right now. We'd be playing Boston right now, So I'm gonna let Luca, how was your season? So far as like how you feel about the Knicks, season in review.
Definitely disappointing, as we said in the end, but I do think the season was a success overall. At first, like you guys, I had the Knicks as, as a bottom seeded team in terms of, the top six, like 5 or 6, maybe they're like a top seeded playing team, whatever. But I really think that OG Anunoby trade, which some fans, didn't like at the beginning because they traded RJ Barrett, they traded Emmanuel quickly. Yes, they extended Josh Hart over Emmanuel quickly as well. But that OG Anunoby traded, should I say, move the trajectory of this team a lot higher. And you have OG Anunoby. Obviously, he has a lot of issues when it comes to his health. That's definitely going to be a factor in his free agency. And another thing real quick before I go back to Anunoby, I know one of you two was just referencing the Hartenstein reports, but I kind of think that's like if you take it all into one vacuum and if you take it all serious, I think it's rivals or their agents trying to drive up their price. Because if you think about it, realistically, the Knicks are now a winning culture. Isaiah Hartenstein had a home with the Knicks. So did OG Anunoby. Fans love them both. And, there's going to be teams that are looking to poach them. Most notably, the 76ers for OG Anunoby. That's going to be a big thing. Are they going to pursue Paul George? All these different things. So, the Sixers, media, listen, there's a tactic called negotiating with the media. That's when you have executives from a certain team leak information to reporters, and then the reporters send that information out. Obviously, they'll say a source says that OG Anunoby will receive $40 million annually in free agency this year. Whether that's true or not, we'll see. But same thing with Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein, a lot of people are mentioning the Oklahoma City Thunder. They need size. They need a proper center. I mean, not that Holmgren isn't, but, Hartenstein has a little more bulk to him. I don't think they'll change his style of play that they have. But again, that's negotiating through the media. That's what Oklahoma City's planning to do. But regardless, going back to Anunoby, you saw the stretch they had in January. What OG brings beneficially is offense and defense. Offensively, corner three-pointer is very consistent 3-point shooter. Obviously, arguably the best wing defender, close to Jaden McDaniels across the NBA. But what he also brings on offense is the ability to play off the ball. RJ couldn't do that, or at least he wasn't put in a position to do that. So you have OG Anunoby running across the floor. He said for the first game against the Timberwolves, he's like, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't know the play, so I'm just going to cut. And the Knicks constantly found him in those situations where he was open under the basket, in the corner. So OG Anunoby, him being able to play off the ball without the ball in his hands on offense is phenomenal. Same thing with Dante DiVincenzo. He did the same thing as well. He has the ability to drive to the rim, can score at least in the paint and from 3-point territory. But just looking at that trade, I think it's worked out for the most part. Now, Anunoby, as I said, has his health issues. We'll see how it's determined in free agency with his free agency value, but also to note that his agent is Leon Rose's son. So you know what? They might have a deal that's worked out already. Who knows? But I think that should I say trade really worked out in the Knicks' favor, and it changed their trajectory. Obviously, they went out to trade for Bogdanovich and Burks. We thought Bogdanovich, as this high-level scorer, a very efficient scorer, but he struggled to start. He was also dealing with the wrist injury that we didn't know about. And, in the playoffs, he showed up for the first 2 or 3 games. Same thing with Burks. Burks, when they called his number, he came in and succeeded. So Burks is a free agent this year. We'll see if we bring him back. But I think the big goal for the Knicks this offseason is to get depth. Obviously, bring back OG Anunoby and Isaiah Hartenstein, and I also think that the Knicks need a backup point guard because I see Deuce better off ball than on ball, unless he develops as a pass first point guard.
Right. Until you mean to run a team, if he could run a team, because he's more of a scorer, like say if you don't have like that point guard responsibility on him, he runs it more efficiently, because if he has to run the point guard, it's almost like he thinks too much or something like that. And, it takes him out of his game. Like I said, he's more he's more of those guys like a combo guard, what I'm saying? Somebody like that doesn't have to worry about running the team and stuff like that. And I agree with that. But like I said, the most important thing this season that it did for the Knicks is it changed the culture. The Knicks now have a foundation. They have a culture now. And then on top of that, what the playoff did was also gave these guys more playoff experience. So now the Knicks are even more battle tested with what they had. So, like I said, you come back and bring back a full team. Now it's like we really going to, get these guys because they've got the experience and they've been there before. I mean, we came within one game of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And like I said, if we'd have won Game 3, we'd probably have been playing right now. Even though Jalen Brunson did, break his hand, that would have been another. By the time we finished, it's like, we probably was gonna have nobody left to play, because Josh Hart had the abdominal
abdomen injury. He had trouble breathing.
Right. What's good, El Cappuccino, Raphael? What's good, bro? Thanks for tapping in. Yeah.
Well, Luca, let me ask you a question. How much is too much, and what's too less to pay for these guys if the money's there for Hartenstein and OG?
Well, let's see. Hartenstein, I think the Knicks most can offer is $18 million, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with the price range of $16 to $18 million, in my opinion, because I feel like I'll be honest, I feel like on most teams he could be a starting center. I'm not saying he's the best center in the NBA. I'm not saying that at all, but he like the Knicks, if they bring him back, they have like two starting centers, 2 guys who could play the starting center position. But 16 to 18 million is most I would go. But if you want to ask me, real quick before I get to Anunoby, who's more important, I would say Anunoby. Honestly, I know he has the health issues, but Anunoby is, I think, the real difference maker.
And how much would you pay for him?
I wouldn't go 40 million. I would go 35, 36, maybe 37, probably just for his defensive value alone. But again, the injuries is a major factor. And again, what I question is as well, is that deal already signed? But again, 35 to 37 for Anunoby. Also, please, in that structure, also have some options in there. Also, as well, maybe have some salary incentives for how many games played as well. Give him some motivation.
Right. Now I like that idea as well to be added to that. But 18 because like you just said, all those other teams that you talked about, if Hartenstein might be eligible or they be in consideration of picking him up. Keep in mind, he would now be an $18 million backup on those teams. You understand? If he went to Oklahoma, he would be coming off the bench. If he went to the Sixers, he would come off the bench. If he went to any other team, he's coming off the bench. The Knicks, unfortunately, had Mitchell go down, so he became the starter. So that's why I was saying when we look at him, is he truly a starter or he's a good backup center to come off the bench? In reality, because any other team, he would be a backup center.
Well, I think if he goes to Oklahoma City, he won't. He'll start because they want to move.
He's going to start over Chet.
No, Chet's going to be moved to power forward position because that's what most of these guys, these skinny guys, like they'd rather play the power
frame
position because of
not in terms of height but weight.
Right, because the center position is like a little bit more strenuous, so they rather move them to the power forward where they can take advantage of people too, like that. So,
then Chet is still going to be abused because then now he has to play a smaller power forward, which he don't have the foot speed for.
Right, but still, that's what I'm saying. But they'll move him to the power forward position and stuff like that. I mean, if they sign Hartenstein to an 18-man out there, he's going to start. You know what I'm saying? They're going to move Chet to the power forward.
Okay.
He's going to start alongside him because They had Steven Adams but Adams was injured, I believe, and then they traded him to the Grizzlies or something like that. But yeah, they're looking for more size to put because Holmgren is tall, but he's thin. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
I'm because I figured
because of that,
like the same thing with Mitchell. When Mitchell came, he was thin. He
he
put on
put
size.
the
How
weight on.
much better was Mitchell after he put on that size? He was
Right,
able to guard the Embiids and all of that
right.
at that point. So you know what I mean. I would think Chet would have to go through the same process to make himself grow into the next level player that he wants to be.
Yeah, check up. He could put some more weight on, but like sometimes it's easier said than done. He could put the weight on because he like he'd be like KD. Like KD never really put weight.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you know what I mean. I got that part. Yeah.
But yeah, if he goes to like I say, it was like what was the team? Is OKC was one, and what was the other team for? You see, the Knicks gonna only offer like 4 years, 72 million, which is 18 million, but some other team could offer, I think, more to drive the price up. And but the Knicks can't, they can't match it. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
wouldn't it be in his best interest to just take a 2-year deal anyway at this point? So if they say, for instance, the Knicks win the championship, say for instance they get back to the same place they was, it only would drive his stock up even more, wouldn't it?
yeah,
If he played better going into those seasons.
of course, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you know, some guys they want to. I gotta look at Hardenstein how old he is because that plays a factor in it too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Guys want to get
Mm,
paid because they ain't got time to play around because the age thing. You know what I'm saying? After a while, they be like
right.
they ain't gonna get another contract like that, so they just like what. Let me take what I can get right now. Let me look at Harden.
Mm.
I believe Hardenstein is what is it? Isaiah Hardenstein. Okay, Isaiah Hartenstein is he's 26 years old. He's
No,
26.
then exactly. He's
So
fitting the mold of where it should be then. So if the Knicks offer him a 2-year, 36 million with the option of another year or whatever, a player option, I think that would be up his alley because like I said, he comes back with the same enthusiasm or even better than he was this year. He can
mhm,
only drive his premium up even higher.
of course, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So all those things are on the table to see how it goes. Like I said, man, it's gonna be it's kind of crazy how, like I said, we talking about let's run it back, or we need is the health to get these guys back, and now we got to talk about contracts and stuff compared to like if these guys was all under contract already, we knew they was coming back. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like who's going to be back, who's not going to be back. You just never know. Like I said, I'm expecting OG to be back because, like I said, when they made the trade, I'm kind of figured that they already had some backdoor deal already. You know what I'm saying? But
I would
he'll be
hope so because, when looking at what y'all's talking about, he should be able to take 37 to 40. And you talk about giving a guy 37 to 40. This guy hasn't been in a all-star game. He hasn't been on no first team defensive team. He hasn't been in no first team
OG.
options. Yeah.
OG, I think OG made second or first team defense already. I think he already made a
Oh,
defensive.
yeah. I think he was second. I think he was.
I think he already made a team, but yeah, the injury thing is one thing. But like I said, yeah, the thing with OG is like it's not so much the Knicks, is the other team. Like I said, the Sixers have a lot of money; they could drive up the price just to stick it to the
Oh,
Knicks. Just to stick it to them.
yeah.
That's all. That's all it is. Just to stick it to
Yeah,
the Knicks.
but we talked about this as they could do all they want, but you could be you could be buying out you could be getting another Tobias Harris to go to that team
Yeah, but see,
according to.
yeah, but he'll help out more than what Tobias did. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he'll be good for them for defensive things to slow down, like other play wings and stuff like. Plus, he can score too a little bit
Oh
too.
yeah, no, we
You
know
know,
his options.
he'll help them more than Tobias did. So they don't care about that
Right,
because with them, they trying to get like a third player to help with Embiid and Maxey because
of
you know
course.
I know they're looking at Paul George, but I don't think that's realistic. I think Paul George is staying because he's from
He's
California.
staying home. Correct.
What he wanted to do. So my
Yeah.
whole thing, like, just let him, Harden and Kawhi just go off into the sunset in Clipperland because that's what they wanted to do. Let them do what they got to do and stuff like that. But like I said, so that's the one team. The Sixers, OKC has money. I know Detroit has money, but anybody going to Detroit, you know what I'm saying? But it's just OKC and what you call it. Those are the guys that's like
Mm.
that's going to like the Knicks would have to kind of look back. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only that the Knicks would have to kind of fear, because all the other contenders don't really have money like that, so you ain't got to worry about that. But
Mm.
if I'm a betting man, I'm thinking OG's coming back anyway. He'll be back. Hartenstein should be back. And I know I see reports of them trying to trade Mitch and do things. I see all these reports of Mitch going into place, stuff like that. So, you just never know, man. We have 2 first-round draft picks, which is 24 and 25. I don't know what they're going to package them, move up, move down, what they do, or they're going to – because they keep they link to if they lose Hartenstein, they link to what's the name from the center from
Edey?
Purdue, right? Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
another thing I did read this is per Jonathan Givney of Draft Express. I think the Knicks are interested in making a trade, in the 2024-25 draft, 24 draft, as you said. But I think they said they want to extend their competitive window. So maybe you're drafting a couple more guys, you're possibly trading back. A lot of interesting scenarios there. That's what I thought I would bring up real quick.
Yeah, I saw some things too in there about what's the name, the dude from Virginia, Ryan Dunn. He's like 6'6", and he's another like wing defender. So in case he leaves or something like that, or in case something happened, they said that could be a possible solution. I don't know how true it is, but that's what these guys get paid money for. You know what I'm saying? They doing all the due diligence and they know everything behind the scenes. We don't know. We see things later on and stuff like that and hear about it. But one thing, like I was talking to D like yesterday, was just like if the Knicks pick up Bogey's $19 million, is to use them in a trade chip, and that's what they said. They picked up the $19 million. So if they pick it up, it's like more than likely they have a trade in the works. That's what I'm saying, because they just not gonna pick it up just for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Because if anything, they could just release them and just save $2 million against the cap or whatever, and save that $17 million.
I'm sure they can, but rarely ever do you see an NBA player released like him. But it's going to be a trade maneuver if they end up, as you said, picking up his option because he's a free agent next year. But idealistically, I don't know who you would trade Bogdanovich for. I'm not saying he isn't valuable. I'm saying who's out there on the open market as a role player that you can.
No. What I was saying was they'll use him in a trade for like a big trade or something like that.
Oh, right.
For the salaries, that's the only reason they won't trade him just for another role. They'll use him to match salaries. Like if they have to trade for, I'm just gonna give you an example. It's not going like Devin Booker or somebody like that. They'll have to use his salary and somebody else. And I keep hearing they'll have to trade Julius Randle and stuff like that in order to make the things work. But I don't know. Like I said, me personally, I want to run it back with Julius Randle. I know some people don't want to do it. I was like, hey, just run it back with a healthy Julius Randle. Let's see what we got. Like I said, I'd rather see what we have when we healthy. At least one time, let me see the whole team together and then, go from there. Because if we run it back and we playing for an NBA championship, it's like, hey, that answers your question. You got to keep it like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, let's run it back because we don't know what we have. If we just start letting guys go and trading this person, then, then it's like a whole new team again. You know what I'm saying? Guys got to get acclimated to new players,
Absolutely, 100%. And Ian Begley actually came out with a report, or actually rather a prediction, and he said, I think this was reported. The Strickland posted this, and it was reconfirmed today. Ian Begley said, if I had a prediction, it's probably that the Knicks are not going to get an extension done with Julius Randle. And listen, there are factors, there are concerns as why they wouldn't do that. Is obviously you have the 2 back-to-back years of injuries. The freak shoulder injury. Yes, it is a freak injury. Same thing with his ankle injury. He got an ankle injury before. The thing was the Cleveland series, if I'm not mistaken. He ended up re-aggravating it, and that affected his play in Miami. But I also think that's a matter of his own decision making. Regardless, you also have his play in the playoffs, and to be fair, he's a victim of his own decision making sometimes. But also you have to factor in who he's playing with. There were times where he had no spacing on the floor, so he couldn't drive into the paint. He had RJ Barrett, some inconsistent players around him as well. But also we talked about this Man-Cave in the pre-show, what Julius Randle brings. We're not even talking about talent alone. We're talking about skill set. 3-level scorer, can take down mismatches. As I said to you, I think he would have taken Pascal Siakam to task. He can take care of him 100%. And what Randle also does, he's a playmaker. He takes the load off Brunson, and Brunson could play off the ball to him. Randle also drives in the lane. He's going to draw more than one defender. He's going to get into the lane, draw them more than one defender. He's going to find an open shot somewhere, whether it's Hartenstein under the dunker spot, whether it's DiVincenzo in the wing, whether it's Anunoby in the corner. He's going to find somebody open, and somebody's going to hit that shot. So playmaking alone and the scoring alone and the efficiency alone And you look at the numbers. I mean, I could bring them up in a little bit. Randall's ability to play with Brunson, Randall's 100% a lot better when he plays with Jalen Brunson on the floor. And again, there's also going to be an argument as well. Jalen Brunson rose to MVP levels after Julius Randle got hurt. Is that a knock against Julius Randle? I don't think that is. That's just the ascendance of Jalen Brunson. But also you could argue, well, Jalen Brunson didn't have another scorer next to him to take off the load, so it was one entirely Jalen Brunson's show. So that's almost like a double-edged sword. But yes, I'm 100% for bringing back Julius Randle.
Without a doubt, I mean, come on. What, like you said, I mean, you only had a player step up to bring more of his talent to the table based on he lost another key player.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And Hart stepped up tenfold. Come on, I mean, he's just a guy that just goes out there, put blood, sweat, and tears on the floor. You know what I mean? So it's a great thing when you think about what pieces were missing and should be you put that concept together. If you get a whole squad together and you put them on the floor, listen, it can only be sky's the limit, and it's only up to them to now not let egos get in the way, but let the team play on the floor and get back to where they need to be.
And here's the thing, like I seen with I'll be seeing some these trades, with Randall involved. I was like, I'll be looking at him like, come on, bro, that's a dumb trade. They keep and they have Randall like he's garbage. Like they have a trade for Lauri Markkanen. They'll be like, oh, the Knicks got to trade Julius Randle and 3 first-round picks. It's like, why we got to trade 3 first-round picks? Randall's an all-star. I mean, they act like this guy's like a throw-in.
Exactly.
Even for Mikal Bridges, they'll be like, you got to trade Julius Randle and 4 first-round picks and all.
No.
I was like, he's a
to get who? Mikal Bridges, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see some of these mock trades and stuff like that.
They're
on some
ridiculous.
Of these reports. And I'm like, why do we always have to give up first-round picks? And it'll be like Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and Deuce McBride, and 3 first-round picks for Lauri. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like,
I don't even think Markkanen fits this team because he's more perimeter oriented. I don't think he's going to take a defense to task off the dribble. He's more of an off-ball player, in my opinion, and I don't think he has the playmaking either. So I don't think he's a fit regardless. And I'd say he's worse defensively than Julius Randle.
Right.
We're going to get a 7-footer that plays the perimeter that can't block shots, rebound, or whatever. That makes totally no sense.
That's another key of Julius Randle's game. The rebounding we missed.
Exactly.
Defensive.
He's a double guy. You understand? You don't take a double guy to get another 7-footer, which is bigger, just to say what his jump shot. His percentage of jump shots might be better than his by 5-6%. You know what I mean? But whatever. You know what I mean? But the rebounding will be on a lapse because he doesn't rebound the ball. And he can't. I mean, if Julius Randle really played defense or really put that to task, he could play defense. He's that skillful to play defense. And he could definitely play, like I said, on Siakam, he could have definitely played better defense on him and slowed him down.
Julius Randle's a load. He's a load in there. A lot of players will tell you that when he's a load. Like them guys can if Julius was on the court with the Knicks against the Pacers, he would have worn down Miles Turner and Siakam. They would have been in foul trouble. They would have been easily. They had to use that effort and the energy on defense too, because in this series they didn't have to use the energy on defense because
not at all.
For the Knicks to really, you know what I'm saying? So
that's if Siakam was guarding Hart, the biggest thing was just watching him on a fast break because Hart was iffy about his jump shot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To release that jump shot, he played around with the ball, but no, if he had to defend Julius, he would have had his work cut out for him.
Like I said, if anything, if they trade Julius Randle, they better be getting back first-round picks and some other things for Julius instead of just giving him some first-round picks. Because, like I said, Julius is a double-double machine. He's a 3-time All-Star. He's this, he's that. And these other players that they traded for is not even better than Julius Randle. Like I said, Mikal Bridges is a role player. Listen, I like Mikal Bridges. He's a role player, but he's not worth like 4 first-round picks and 5 first-round picks and all these type of things. I'm not even doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's just like overpaying for somebody who's not really, you know what I'm saying? You can get somebody in the draft that could do what he does, you know what I'm saying? Not to say he's not a good player, but he's not a star player. I could see if he's a star player, like, okay, this guy is, but yeah, he was the Nets' main man this season, and Nets
He
fans
actually regressed, if you think
right.
about it. Remember when they traded, they traded Kevin Durant for Mikal Bridges. Bridges, like, everybody's like, oh, he averaged 26 points a game in this amount of stretch. Yes, they got swept, but he showed some flashes. Next season, his efficiency goes down, his scoring goes down. So I think he was a role player that got a lot of reps and a lot of opportunities, a lot of touches on ball. And I'm not saying Mikal wouldn't fit with the Knicks, but I think he's being a little overhyped a little bit because of the Nova connection, because
Right.
he's with the Nets and whatnot. He was their main option. Again, I'm sorry, Mikal Bridges doesn't bring to the table what Julius Randle brings. I like Mikal Bridges.
Not at all. Not
I
at
have no
all.
disrespect, but you look at this. I mean, I'll bring up some numbers right here, real quick.
Luke, I was gonna say, if you want to, you could like stream it to your platform too, man. You could do it if you have the option to do it, man. That's fine.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for giving me the option.
I never had no problems with that, man. Just do it all the time.
Absolutely. But just real quick, some numbers on Julius. I'll give you Randall's stats with Brunson. Randall for the season, I think, shot 31% from three. And that was his field goal. That was his 3-point percentage with Brunson on the floor. Without Brunson on the floor, his 3-point percentage was 28.9%. His 2-point percentage with Brunson on the floor was 55.3, as in 2-point field goal percentage. His 2-point field goal percentage with Brunson off the floor was 5 points lower. His effective field goal percentage was 5 points lower without Brunson. His effective field goal percentage with Brunson on the floor was 52.9. Again, these are the advanced, efficiency ratings. True shooting, 57.6 with Brunson. Without Brunson, 52.3. This is the biggest one. Shots at the rim, field goal percentage at the rim. Randall with Brunson on the floor, 69.2, nearly 70%. Without Brunson, 60%.
He's an efficient player, but near the basket, that's what I'm saying. You can down by the basket, he's a load down there, man. I mean, he's going to get a foul or he's going to, make the basket or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like over the years, like Knicks fans was like just frustrated with Randall shooting like fall away jump shots. And it's like, bro, take it to the basket. Post these guys up. They can't handle you down there. You know what I'm saying? You bailing these teams out with a jump shot, man. It's like, and the guys know he's a load down there. He's going to get you tired. He's going to wear you down. He's going to get you in foul trouble. And he's a rebounder. And that's another thing. We would have been playing with them, playing on the rebound with the boards. If Randall's in there, he's collecting them rebounds. Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner is not really getting in there to get rebounds and stuff like that with Randall around there. Not to say that he'll get all the rebounds, but he'll get more of the rebounds because that's what he do. He's a rebounder. He's a double machine.
Right.
It's Miles Turner and Siakam. Yeah, they give players, they're more perimeter players. Yeah, they can play inside here and there, but then that's not their game. Their game is really on the mid-range and outside. And like I said, if they would have been guarding Randall, they would have been tired. They won't be hitting them 3-point shots and their legs would have been gone. You know what I'm saying? From guarding Randall on the other end and using energy. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's just like neither here nor there. Like I said, as Knicks fan, man, we're so happy. Like I said, the way the season turned out, we got to see these guys really play with some grit, some determination, some heart. Like I said, they play with what they had. Like I said, I mean, for them to take it, to come within like a game of going to the Eastern Conference Finals with what they had to go through, I tip my hat off to them, like I said, and it's only going to help us be that much better, much stronger, So next season comes, if we run it back, like I said, we're gonna be there. And another thing is, you saw how crazy Knicks fans were, right? It's like, can you imagine next season when the Knicks are really that much better? The Knicks fans they're gonna be taking over arenas everywhere they go. Everywhere they go, the Knicks fans gonna be in the building. I mean, Knicks fans are their own. They like their own media, social media right now. Even you see KG talking about, Knicks fans is crazy, man. But like I said, with that, man, come back. Like I said, so run it back. Like I said, so. I know Josh Hart would be back, and that's another thing. You see trades with Josh Hart or DiVincenzo involved in these trades. Like, you need to keep these guys, man. It's like, hey, man, if let's say Donovan Mitchell, these other guys, let's say they want to come, it's like, hey, just wait until another season. If they want to come, it's like, you don't have to give up too much to get these guys. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I don't know how much money Knicks going to have because this season they're going to have to make a lot of decisions about money. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be the season. Is like you're going to sign Anunoby, going to sign Hartenstein. Going to extend Brunson, because if they extend Brunson this season, it's going to really help us because he's going to leave like what $114 million on the table.
Yeah, I think if he signed an extension this year, he would be paid around $39 million, and if it's not this year, next year, he'd be upwards of like $45 to $50 million per year. So he would be leaving some money on the table, and that would be pretty unselfish of him But again, he loves the city. We love him, so he understands. And you know what's funny? I did on his latest episode. If you guys didn't see this, check it out. There's two things. He actually visually showed his hand in the cast, his left fractured hand.
I saw it on Twitter.
But also as well, he's like, you know what? I hate the crap. You know, we love the fans and all. I hate the crap with, people making excuses saying, oh, we were injured. We were down to however many players. But Brunson was basically shouting that off. He's like, we lost. We could have went up 3-0. We could have won the series. And you know what? He puts that on himself. He puts that on the team. And that's a true leader. He's not making excuses. He's like, you know what? We could have won the series, but we got to go to next year.
All right, and that's why I couldn't even say, like, when you hear like people like Becky Hammonds and Paul Pierce, these guys talking about like this guy's not really a 1A player. He's not. It's like, bro, man. Like I said, you put anybody in this situation, they won't even do half the things he did. Like I said, you take like Denver, you take Jamal Murray and Gordon off the team, or they hurt for the season, and Michael Porter Jr. What is he going to do? What is Joker going to do by himself? What is Jason Tatum going to do if Brown and some other guys are out for the season? You know what I'm saying? Or what is going Luka if Kyrie's not there, and let's say they got a lot of guys out? It's like he had to deal with more adversity, more injuries and stuff like that. And like I said, the reason I think he should have been on first team All NBA because, like I said, he led the Knicks for they was a 4th seed when all the injuries started happening, and he took them to a 2 seed. How you go from being down a 4 seed to go up 2 seed? And you saw the Sixers. When the Sixers was a 2 seed, when Embiid got hurt, they went all the way down to 7th. They almost missed the playoffs. You see, and that's what I'm saying. When people talk about Maxey, and also Maxey's a great player, but Maxey can't carry a team. You see what I'm saying? And people gonna have to realize that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. You see the difference and stuff like that. But like I said, I mean, from a 4 seed to a 2 seed is like that man deserved to be like one of the top 3 in the MVP. I know he finished like 5th or something like that, which I mean, listen, hey, I mean, Joker won it, but, Shai Gilgeous had a good season, but I would have put Brunson right up there, number 2 or 3 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He deserved it, man. Like I said, I can't take nothing away from the guy. I mean, the guy was an MVP. You know what I'm saying? He played in the biggest media market, the most pressure on him and all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give the dude his credit, man. When we first got him out, it's like, man, we giving too much money to Jalen Brunson. Hey, now I'm saying, he's grossly underpaid. You know what I'm saying? It's like grossly underpaid. He earned a contract. And if he's going to sign this offseason, what's good, Jacob? Good to see you. Good tapping in, bro. Like I said, if he's going to sign this season, man, and give us a big discount, that says a lot about Jalen Brunson because, like I said, he could wait until next season and sign a $250 million contract or something like that. But this year, I think he could get like, what is it, 150? It's a 4-year 150 or something like that. If he does that, that shows, like I said, the dude wants to be. I mean, he want to be here, you know what I'm saying? But it's like he's showing like, hey, I'll take a little less money to, to get these other guys signed or run it back or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big thing.
that doesn't that go to say, if he takes the contract this year to get what he's going to get paid, and OG takes a 40, and then you got to still sign Julius Randle, which Julius is going to be up for the max as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you got basically you're gonna almost have two dudes at 40, and if Brunson short changes himself, what is he at 30, 34, 35?
Yeah. But see, the thing with Brunson and Randall is like they really are still signed for this season coming up. You know what I'm saying? But they
right, of course.
But the longer you wait, though, the more money you're gonna have to get.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. So you would play OG top dollar, and then expect these guys to take less money.
You know what
I mean? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? This just goes to I don't know, dude. That's what I said. And then I heard you mention about Deuce McBride. I mean, Deuce is a better, and for this year he played better off the ball, but I think if he's a point guard, he needs to up his point guard skills. You just got to grow into that position. That's what we need him to be, that backup point guard. We need him to be that guy, even with that second lineup of Julius or whoever's in that lineup, still to knock down that 3-point shot, nevertheless push the ball up.
Yeah, but the thing
you understand?
The thing I understand with Deuce is like Deuce was a point guard in college. I don't know. It's not like he's a shooting guard and then they try to make him a point guard in the NBA. So he was already a point guard, at West Virginia. So he came to the Knicks. I thought he was going to have like the skills like that. I know, but
Well, different style of pace, and then nevertheless, like I said, if he took anything from Jalen, it should have been attack. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have the speed; he can attack. But then, like I said, once you get the offense going, you find your spots. You know what I mean? That's the bad thing with not having Julius Randle in the lineup is that he would have taken that pressure off of him.
right.
You know what I mean? And that's they had the option of doubling them because who else was out there? Hart wasn't really, like I said. Hart is not a threat on that perimeter for real. I mean, the only one that's a threat is Devin Chandler, and you saw how many guys they was running at him, to try to get him off the line.
But that's what I'm saying. That says a lot about Jalen Brunson's stamina because I mean, he was getting doubled and triple team more than anybody that I've seen in recent years. You know what I'm saying? And he still was
very true,
30-something pieces, and he wasn't.
Right, and I give him his credit. I give him his props. At some point, I always thought he was pounding the ball way too much as well because he's got to release the ball. If you're getting double teamed, you got better odds once you release the ball in attacking the basket.
Yeah, and that's what I always said. The one thing with Jalen Brunson that I think he has to work on. I mean, he's a scorer, he's this and that, but like I said, when he gets in that paint, he got to be like Trae Young to Clint Capella. He got to throw that alley-oop to Mitchell Robinson for the dunk.
He's got to give it up. Yeah,
like I said,
he's
RJ
are
the only ones finding Mitchell Robinson a lot for alley-oop dunks when he come down the lane and stuff like that. And as much as Jalen Brunson get down that lane, he can pass the ball off. I know he scores and he gets fouled and get hit and get knocked down, but if he passes that ball for an alley-oop, that's an easy 2 points for Mitchell Robinson. And if he starts doing that more often, those are easier points for us. You know what I'm saying? Easier points. So, that's the one thing with Jalen Brunson. I'll say he has to work on that. But every other thing I'm happy with, like the type of player he is and what he do. But like I said, he just do that part, what I'm saying? Feed his big man down in there, like, it'll be all that much better, man. And also, thanks you, Jacob, putting on Luca's. That's Luca's YouTube channel. People, please go and subscribe to that channel, YouTube at Knicks Cast. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, hit that like button. Also share this also on your social media platforms and things like that. And also hit the notification bell. And also hit the like button, man. It's free. Hit that like button, please. Hit the like button. It helps the algorithm for all our channels and things like that.
Also, another trade target I'd like to say no to because there's reports about him and his price dropping on the trade market. I'll say no to Zach LaVine openly.
Oh my God! Hold on. What's the rumor with the Knicks?
It's the rumor. There's no rumor with the Knicks actively, but there's a rumor that his price dropped, and they think the report says that the Bulls' relationship with him has run its course.
Wow. Okay, but his agent is Rich Paul, and Rich Paul, and for the Knicks, and Leon Rose had a little beef, but it looked like it's kind of squashing because I know back then a year ago they were saying like Zach LaVine's not getting traded to the Knicks because of Rich Paul, his agent, don't do business with the Knicks and stuff like that. But Zach LaVine's from LA. I think he wants to go play for the Lakers, so the Lakers could probably try to get him or something like that. That's where he's from, so I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to go home to the Lakers.
Wow, Chicago's not going to take a chance of trying to finally get Lonzo Ball back and have Zach LaVine and
try to run it back.
Yeah, and try to run it back with the nucleus they try to put there.
The big three with DeRozan, the Vucevic,
right.
But Lonzo picked up his option. So Lonzo coming back.
Well, that's if he's healthy, obviously. But Vucevic and DeRozan are free agents.
Oh, they're
really?
Free agents.
Wow. Yeah, That's big.
They're restricted or unrestricted?
I think they're both unrestricted because DeRozan, I think, only signed a 3-year contract, and Vucevic, I think, only was up on a few years. So those are two big free agents, but they also got to see what Kobe White is because he had a really good year this year.
Yeah, and the thing with Vucevic is, like I said, now he's a guy who's like, he's an inside-outside player. He can shoot a three, but he'd be inside getting rebounds too, and he'd be down in there. Vucevic, he's a good player. He's a good, center, forward, power forward, whatever he is. He's a good player. But
now, if the Knicks want to now I would do something with that. If the Knicks want to mortgage off Harstein and somebody else, maybe Harstein and somebody else for him, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah,
my mistake. He's actually not a free agent, but I'll also add this: I do think his weak points are defense and rebounding, and you know, we all know how much Tibbs values a rim protector. So I think I like the spacing aspect, but not the defensive rebounding aspect. Because it's almost like every time the Knicks are in the paint with him, they get the offensive rebounds and second chances versus him. Especially Mitchell Robinson does very well against him.
Oh yeah, but Mitchell does good against him. But you got he gets a lot of rebounds too. He gets a lot of double doubles too though. And he's a rebounding big man. I mean, not to say he's like 18, 19 rebounds, but he gets some double doubles and stuff like that. And Fuzz, yeah, he's not going to be a rim protector like that. He don't really block shots like that. But Hartenstein, like I said, he had a great season. But like I said, in the playoffs, I don't know if he was hurt really, but he didn't really show me too much in the playoffs, like I said, because he wasn't getting rebounds. Like, I mean, he had one good game where he's getting a bunch of rebounds. I don't know if it's his Achilles, because I know he's been like the season he had the Achilles, so that could be part of it too. But in the playoffs, he played a little bit down a little bit, but maybe, like I said, maybe he played so much, because Mitchell was hurt a lot and stuff like that. So, I mean, it kind of wore him down too, but we'll have to see though on that. But like I said, in the offseason, like I said, man, I think the draft is in is it 3 weeks? 2 weeks? It's about 3 weeks. The draft is in about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, or whatever it is. Like, so we're gonna know a lot by then, because so we'll see like what these guys sign for. And I think what is it, Bogey? They have to make a decision with Bogey, right? I think it's in June. I don't know if it's 26 or 20. They got to make a decision if they're going to pick up his option or they're not going. You know what I'm saying? So that'll tell us, like, if they pick it up, like, like they're going to try to make a trade or something like that. But if they don't pick it up,
just cut them and just re-sign them.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you like I said, if you do that, it's like, I mean, somebody will pick him up too, because he ain't gonna stay in the market that long. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will get him. I'm gonna say if it's the Knicks or it's somebody else, because like I said, he's still serviceable, scorer and stuff like that. He can come up for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to pay him too much like that.
I'm saying not for 19 million though.
Yeah, I know, and he's 35. He's 35 years old. 35.
19 million is a little absurd to resign Bogey back to.
No.
I just want to say real quick that I'm reading through the contract. Apparently, I believe he gets like an extra $2 million guaranteed, and I think if I'm reading this right, his salary becomes guaranteed after June 28th.
Right. That's what they have to make a decision if they're gonna pick it up or not. So they're gonna make that decision. So if they pick it up, then it's like they trying to work it out to trade him or something like that, because I can't see them picking up his contract, $19 million, and then go sign Obi, then sign Hartenstein, then sign Brunson. That's a lot of salary you're about to. So the only reason they're gonna pick it up, they're gonna try to move him or something like that. But if they don't pick it up, then you know what I'm saying, then they're gonna sign Hartenstein, these guys, and see what they do, and then see if they could run it back or something like that. Or if they trade target whoever they're looking at, because like I said, they got like about 8-9 first round picks and things like that.
I'd say that's a good amount. I'd say that's their fair amount. 8 and 9 first round picks in the next couple of years.
Yeah, because they got 2 this year, and they got, I think, 2. Or they got 3 or 4 next year. They got 2. I think
I gotta look it up.
I think they got like about 3 in next year's draft too. It's like the Milwaukee pick, the Detroit pick, I think is on, and the Wizards pick, I think, is next year. So they got some picks coming up that they really not even going to try to use. They're going to try to package them up and try to do something.
Yeah, but I just hope it's for the right deals. You know what I mean? Not like you just said. Not you're trying to foreclose of the all these picks on Zach LaVine for to have.
I don't think it's Zach LaVine, but though, I mean, in a way, I'm saying, this front office they haven't really been to like the past regime where it was just giving away picks for has been players and stuff like that. They've been very kind of prudent with what they're trying to do. Like I said, like the OG trade, that was a good trade. You know what I'm saying? It's like
listen, in the lights of a lot of the Knicks fans, I don't think it like I was saying, I don't think a lot of people liked the deal originally, because Quickly and Barrett was definitely fan favorites. You know what I mean? To ship them off to Toronto for a guy that, again, was basically like a player we had. It just was unknown, but he did come in and do things that Barrett couldn't do, which was definitely play defense, definitely be that guy that could play the player from 1 to 4 almost, or even 1 to 5. You know what I mean? And rebound and knock down shots and be aggressive on the boards heavily.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it panned out for us, you know what I mean, with making that deal.
And the thing, like I said, with us with that trade is just like the two guys you trade, they were like durable players because they played a lot. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't really out too
Right.
much. You know what I'm saying? But whereas Anunoby, I mean, I don't know his times in Toronto. I know he was out for Toronto some games, so I don't know he had an injury history. But like I said, for the most part, if he plays a lot, you know what I'm saying, that can help us out. But if he starts getting a lot of injuries and stuff like that, then it's like at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's gonna pan out, but it may not pan out. You know what I'm saying? And his health. That's the only thing is health. Because if he can stay on the court, you know, I know the elbow thing was, to me, is a freak injury. That's it. But I'm more worried about knee injuries and stuff like that. So as long as he ain't got no knee injury, I'm kind of cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I got to see what else, you know what I'm saying, is gonna happen.
And keep in mind, when we keep saying a backup point guard, Quickly was our backup point guard.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He definitely came in and paid efficient minutes and was like that other 20-point scorer off the bench
Bro.
that got it done for us. You know what I mean? So, you know, when we thought about you think about a backup point guard, you're like, oh, Miles Turner's still there, but Quickly was that guy. You know what I mean? He was that guy that came in, ran the squad, even with some of the first
Of course.
with the starters. When he was hot, you left him in with them, he blended in with them. And then the good thing about that, even with that the playoff game, is that he could run a point and let Brunson run off the ball.
Right, that was a big thing, right? Quickly was
Right.
Point guard and which guard. I mean, he'd have been great on our team in the second unit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because he was instant offense. I mean, if he's on the
Right.
floor, you know, teams wasn't trying to like leave him open, you know. So
Correct.
that's even a better floor spacer because, you know, they gotta stick to that guy, you know what I'm saying, or he's gonna pull the trigger, you know. He's like Maxi,
Correct.
and they just, if they open, hey, they gonna let it go, you know. But yeah, that was a big what you call it, man. That was a big what you call. What's good, Jay Boogs? What's good, my brother? Long time no see, man. Salute to you too, man. 3 capital S's. That's right, bro. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share, man. Like I said, also go subscribe to Knicks Cast, like I said, Lucas channel and stuff like that. Got to grow these channels, man. I know it's the dog days of summer. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We just chopping it up and talking right now. Like I said, pretty soon, you know, Giants will start picking up. You know, the Yankees are doing good right now. The Rangers are doing good right now. Are the Rangers up 3-1 or 3?
They're actually down 3-2 heading to Florida.
3-2,
So
yeah.
tomorrow is very much an elimination game, but we'll see what happens.
Hey, man, it's like I said, the Rangers are doing real good too. So hopefully they could get that game out, and if they could win the series, then they'll be playing for the Stanley Cup. Yeah, who's on the other side? Is Edmonton? Is it Edmonton and
It's Edmonton and Dallas in the Western Conference Finals?
And Dallas is who's up on that? Because Edmonton is a tie.
Let me double check. I thought it was Dallas at one point.
Yeah, because Edmonton came and won that game because Dallas was up 2-0 in that game, and I think Edmonton beat them like 5-2 in the last game.
Series is tied up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, right. So it's just like, man, that'll be great if the Rangers can pull it out, man. Go play for that Stanley Cup, man. That'll be great. Edmonton, Dallas, whoever it is, man, it'll be awesome, man. And then the Yankees are doing good. Yeah, they lose some games here and there, you know what I'm saying, but. I saw what's the name, your brother stuff, Alex stuff on there with the home runs, man. They hit 3 home runs in 1 inning. It was like Soto, Judge, and Stan in the same inning, 3 home runs.
Yep.
Some of the moon shots, man. I was like, yo, that's crazy, man. If they could ever get it together, like I said, I mean, we should have a murderous row, you know what I'm saying, in the lineup, you know, with Stanton, and Soto. If Gleyber Torres gets his hitting like that, yo, that's gonna be a murderous monster, you know. And now it's like Clark Schmidt is out now. I think Schmidt is out.
He's out with an injury. He could be back in August. That's how bad the injury is.
It's like he was pitching real good too. Because when that guy was, I mean, they was beating teams teams was only scoring like 0 runs, 1 run or 2 runs. Very low scoring for the other team. You know, he was basically shutting these guys out. So it was like pitching is going down because Gary Cole is still out, right?
Yeah, he's actually doing a rehab assignment, I think, starting next week in the minor leagues. So they'll pitch him a few games. He'll be back soon.
Yeah, man. So he said Cole, that's our ace. He's down. Schmidt is out now. What's Nestor Cortez?
Cortez is, he's still doing his thing. Yeah.
I got you, Jay Boog. I know you still got that Jay Williams backpack. Okay, we get it. But yeah, Nestor Cortez is like what? He's
pitched well. He's pitched better of late. So
Mm,
he's like, I'd say he's probably the weakest link, but the one rising star is Luis Heel,
yeah,
who's he's pitched, I think pitched recently. No, he didn't even pitch a shutout against the Angels. Allowed one run through like 8 innings.
yeah. And what about what's his name? Who's the other dude?
Stroman,
No, I would. Yeah, Stroman's been good, but the reliever,
Rodon.
no Weaver, man. What's going on with him? Because I remember I saw one game he got bombed. I mean, we was up in that. I forgot what game we was winning in Toronto or some game, and he bombed that game. Man, they came back and beat us.
I mean, he's a relief pitcher, but I think the Yankees' biggest problem in the bullpen is they don't have enough strikeout guys. There are a lot of contact, outs, which is
Mhm.
kind of outdated in the MLB, and it's not what the Yankees want exactly. They take on a lot of these, like, I wouldn't say reclamation projects, but a lot of smaller guys to try to develop them. But
Mhm.
I don't think I'm not a fan of Weaver. I think he too much pitches for contact. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I overall got to say about that. But the Yankees definitely need to target some bullpen at the deadline.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, but hey, the season started off good for the Yankees. I think
Oh yeah,
they still like what they still like in first or second place or something like that because
first
Baltimore.
place in the AL East.
Yeah, Baltimore is right there too, right? Is it Baltimore right behind them? Is
Yeah, Baltimore's
Cleveland.
2 games back.
Baltimore's what?
I said Baltimore's 2 games back, but what was
They've
I going
been
to say? Cleveland is first
Cleveland.
in their division.
Yeah.
So
And
they're good.
then the Phillies is playing hot right now
Oh
too.
yeah, they're the best. They're one of the. If it wasn't for the Dodgers, they're probably the best in the National League.
Correct.
Don't the
Phillies is
Phillies have
real
the
hot.
best record? The Phillies got the best record, or is it Dodgers?
I
I think it's the
uh,
Dodgers.
Oh,
is
Dodgers.
it?
Because the Phillies were they did have the best record. The Phillies.
Oh, you know what? You're right. The Phillies actually have 40 wins.
Yep, the Phillies.
Correct.
Yeah, they doing their thing too, man. And it's like, yo, this season, as far as the Yankees and the Astros, man, I'm saying the Astros been a thorn in our side, but for some reason the Yankees been handling the Astros this year, man. I'm like, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I guess, what's the little guy, Alvarado, whatever his name is, the little guy,
Altuve.
Altuve. That dude,
Tove, yeah.
he's like a little pest, man.
A
Every
lot of
time,
their pitching's hurt, and they're just not the same without
yeah,
Correa, without I
get them
forgot who they
guys.
let go this offseason, but they're just not the same team.
Yeah, that's good. Like I said, we need the Yankees to get back on track and get back some World Series, man, because they've been in a drought for a while now. I
Yep.
guess since the Jeter years and stuff like that. It's like, hey man, we got to get back to Yankees baseball winning and stuff like that because it's good for baseball. When the Yankees win, it's good for baseball. Same thing like the Knicks. When the Knicks are in the playoffs, the Knicks is doing good. It's good for basketball, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, so everybody, I guess everybody's in agreement about running it back, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm in agreement, run this thing back. Let's see what happens. But like I said, we'll know what's going to happen within the next 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying, with the draft and if they made trades or what they're going to do. But these guys got a plan, man. So I have to trust the process. Like I said, so far so good. Like I said, the Knicks have they really I'd say they really kind of impressed me this season, saying coming to this year. Like I said, I'm thinking it's gonna be fifth seed or fourth seed, sixth seed, whatever it's like this. But I mean, we got all the way up to the number 2 seed now. And like I said, and these other teams are like gimmicky now too. So if we could keep these guys together and get stronger, I feel real good about our chances. Like I said, I already feel good about our chances. I want to see what we're gonna do. If we're gonna run it back, we're gonna sign some of these guys back and what's gonna happen and stuff like that. Because like I said, the guys who played like in the playoffs, they got that experience. They got that grit. They can bring it back. We're gonna run it back on these dudes, man. And how do you feel about Tom Thibodeau, man? Like I said, because I mean he got to get an extension too. They got to extend Tom Thibodeau too. So how do you feel about Tom Thibodeau? You know what I'm saying? I know when he first got here, I was like, man, this ain't the guy for the job. I'm like, because you know what I'm saying, it's like he ain't adjusting. You know what I'm saying? He's too old fashioned and stuff like that. But
Right.
since then, you know what I'm saying, it's like he's been doing good with these guys. So I got to give him credit, man. And that was another thing too in free agency and all that stuff is like you can't get everybody to come and play for Tom Thibodeau. You know what I'm saying? They got to be like a player that, can they play like Tom Thibodeau style and, play a lot of minutes? It's like it's certain players that can do that. So that's another thing people got to look out for too, because you get a guy like, we don't want no low management guys because we don't need low management guys. We need guys that's going to play or guys who are dependable and durable.
Well, I'm hoping we're not looking to burn out guys like that again. I think I would hope that Tom learned from this season. I'm hoping that if you establish a bench or you establish the team, you work the team accordingly with minutes that you try to stretch out throughout the season so everybody is not burnt out, and you have players for the for the sh- for the playoffs. You know what I mean? It makes no sense playing dudes 40 minutes. You know what I mean? I mean, it's going to be games like you said where players are going to be hurt, and someone's going to have to step up to play those minutes like that. But and I would hope we're sharing minutes or trying to um, not 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 load up people early on to get them hurt to
Yeah.
have the repeat of what transpired, especially Brunson. I mean, if you play Brunson 30, 32 minutes, you know what I mean? Why not? You know what I mean? But if you could break it off at some point, like slow down his minutes just to keep him healthy, especially coming off the hand injury and all that.
Yeah.
And it is a shooting hand.
Right. I'll say this about Tom Thibodeau. Originally, when he was hired, I was actually in favor of it, and I think he was my leading candidate. Second, I think, was Atkinson from Brooklyn, Kenny Atkinson.
I like Atkinson number one, for me.
But I first year, I thought I thought he deserved Coach of the Year 100%. Year two, I thought the way he handled Julius and the way he handled the younger players, I was very suspect of. Year three, I think he did a better job than year two, but I still had my questions regarding the offense and his creativity on that side of the ball. Same thing with defensive schemes. But year four, his leadership emerged definitely because you see all these different you saw these polls. All this, he's the most disliked coach in the NBA. Players would not want to play for him. But you see guys like Josh Hart going to social media like, this is all for the soft people. This is not true. And Josh Hart talked about on the Roommate Show pod that, Tom Thibodeau has cooled down his practices as opposed to years prior in Minnesota and Chicago.
Right.
So that's a factor as well. And you see Tom Thibodeau actually was at the Rangers game yesterday with Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart. Like these players want to play for him. They'll run through a wall for him. It's not just about can he coach up a good game? It's like, does he have a relationship with the players? Do the players want to go for bat for him? It's not about if they like him. Do they respect him? They absolutely respect him. And I think Thibodeau has innovated a little bit of his offensive concepts this year. I think it's not so much iso ball, especially with Randall and Brunson running the show. And you have guys that can play off the ball like an Anunoby and a DiVincenzo. But I do think he deserves an extension, honestly. I don't know how much, but I think he deserves to run with this team long term.
All right. Okay. I can agree with that. Like I said, because if you go changing the coach now, it's like, who are you going to bring in here? You know what I'm saying? Now you got to have a whole new philosophy, a whole new system, things like that. As like I said, I wanted Kenny Atkinson in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Because I know he was a developmental coach. We had young guys at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I was more for that, but now, like I said, since Tom's been here, like I said, yeah, he's adjusted over the years and stuff like that. I ain't going to say it's the best adjustments, but like I said, you see, like when they took away certain players from him, like D Rose, Taj Gibson, when they took them guys and forced his hand, so now he was forced to play these other guys and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good, and I think he kind of learned because the reason these guys was playing like that in the playoffs was because of these injuries. So next season, Tom is going to be like he's trusting these guys more now, so now he can trust the bench more. So he's like, yeah, he's going to get the starters more rest because he got to figure it. He can't be playing these guys 45 minutes and playing them like the bench like 8 minutes, 9 minutes here. You got to play them like about 20 minutes, 17 minutes, something like that. Give the starters a breather because it's going to be a deep team. We have a deep team. And if you play them like that, we're going to win a lot of games and guys are going to be fresher, during the season and stuff like that. And then towards the end of the season, with like less injuries and things like that. And like I said, the Knicks had depth. The problem was just the injuries. If these guys wasn't injured, I don't think they was going to be playing like all these minutes, like I say, in the playoffs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's why I want to run it back with these guys and see what happened, see what we come up with, see what's going to, what I'm saying, things like that, so that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to run that thing back, like I said, but yeah, I'm running back the Knicks season in review. The Knicks season to me was a great season. I had a great time. It was a roller coaster, what I'm saying, in the beginning, what I'm saying, but once we put our foot down and collect our bearings, we were good. We made the trade. It changed our trajectory of our team. And, hey, now, like I said, we in the driver's seat. The only thing that's going to happen now is like, can we bring these guys back and health? Those are the only two things because if they run it back and we got health, I feel real good about this team's chances of, making some noise in the playoff. And the Knicks are going to be a team that teams don't want to play. Everybody could talk about that stuff, but they ain't going to want to play us at full strength. And like I said, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you Boston. I don't care if you Denver, you Milwaukee, Philadelphia. I don't care. Oklahoma City. I don't care. I know we have problems with them guys a little bit, but like I said, most of the times we didn't even have a full squad, so I can never really tell like how we was going to do. Like Orlando, we didn't do too good well, but we never had a full squad against Orlando. We never had a full squad against Boston. We never had a full squad against some other teams. So until we play these guys with a full squad, I want to see what's going to happen because we can match a lot of teams with our depth. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of teams don't have is depth. So I feel good about it, like I said. So if they want to sign Tom Thibodeau to another 3-year extension, or I think probably a 3-year or something like that to see what's going to happen, you know what I'm saying? I know the Knicks, for some reason, they love the 5-year deals. So they like give 5-year deals. So if they get
to be fair, they'll actually have a coach who's going to last 5 years.
Right.
Not like Fizdale or anybody else in the past. And it's also an important stat to bring up. I think Thibodeau has, double the amount of wins of any coach combined in the last 17 years. You're going back to Lenny Wilkins, D'Antoni. We're talking about playoff wins, should I say? Playoff wins. Thibodeau, I think, has 14. The rest all combined have 7. And I'm not including Van Gundy. I'm including from post Van Gundy to Tom Thibodeau himself. So you're including Woodson. You're including, obviously D'Antoni, as I said. And I think Wilkins or whoever coached them when they faced the Nets in 04.
Right. Yeah. He's my Lenny Wilkins.
Yeah, Lenny Wilkins.
Ooh, man, that's a blast from the past.
But yeah, those are just the numbers, man. The numbers speak for himself.
Man, Fizdale and Derek Fisher was a train wreck. That was a train wreck. That was like the Phil Jackson type era, I guess, and all that stuff. That was a train wreck. I mean, it was poor, it was bad. But yeah, like I said, man, Luka, thank you for coming on, man. We're gonna wrap it up, man. So I have some last words and stuff like that. Like I said, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also share it to all your social media platforms. Hit that notification bell so you know when we coming on. Like I said, please go subscribe to Knicks Cast. That's Luca's channel. It's in the chat right there. Subscribe to it. Also subscribe to like G Nation, Inside Sports, Unpopular Sports Opinion, Big Pat Sports Talk. These guys going to talk. They talk. They Giants content creators, the Knicks content creators. Also Shakedown Media Network and things like that. Go check those guys out, man. You have a lot of options. You have Big Blue in the Bronx, Luca's brother Alex. Go check his channel out. Yankees, Knicks, Giants. Go check these channels out, man. Like I said, you got a lot of options. I want to thank everybody for watching on Twitter, YouTube, and things like that. And like I said, like my boy Demetrius, like I said, so Luca, I'm gonna let you see where people can find you at and stuff like that.
Final thoughts. I was going to say, I put in the audience, streamed this to part of my audience on Twitter, Knickscast on Twitter, Knickscast on YouTube, hoping to come out with my first video, I think in the next few days, hopefully on the weekend, with a little more time. It's going to be about should the Knicks trade Julius Randle. I know I've kind of answered that question already, but I'm going to do a full breakdown with the stats and everything, but appreciate you having me on Man-Cave.
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure, man. Like I said, I don't know if you're going to go on live doing Julius Randle. I don't know if it's going to be a long way. Yeah, you drop the link, I'll be in there, man, and stuff like that. So you ain't got to worry about that. I know I'm going to be on tomorrow night on G Nation Inside Sports because I know they doing leather to the face, you know what I'm saying, G Nation and Wales to New Jersey. So go check those guys' channel out, G Nation Inside Sport. And yeah, I think who's fighting tomorrow? Is it Deontay Wilder and I forgot the other guy's name, but I was seeing on something like the other guy was 68 pounds overweight. 68 pounds.
What fighter was that?
That's Deontay Wilder's fighting tomorrow night. Deontay Wilder against I keep forgetting the guy's name, and they weighed him. The guy was 68 pounds overweight. And I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna let him fight, but I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because both of them guys are like, they came in and they I think they just got their clocks clean on their last fight. So they fighting tomorrow night. It's like Deontay Wilder. And let me tell you something, Deontay Wilder, that dude been losing like recently. So I don't even know if it's pay-per-view or what is it going to be, you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't been putting up some good fights, though. He ain't been doing too good lately.
The guy he's fighting is Zalay Zhang.
That's who it is. And that dude, and he's 68 pounds, because I think Wilder is 214 pounds, and that guy's like 282 pounds. I'm like, I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what this guy's been doing, what he's been eating or whatever. It's like 68 pounds over the weight is like, and the fight's tomorrow night. So I guess they're gonna let him go through with it. I guess, you know what I'm saying. If Wilder, like, if you can't beat that guy, then yeah, this might be your last fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't been representing too much.
Well, I mean, when you 268 pounds, us and 214 pounds, he's just gonna try to lay on top of on Dante, you know, to tire him out that way. You know what I
Tyson,
mean? I don't.
big lurch, like Tyson.
Yeah, correct. So I don't know how efficient Dante is as far as getting off punches in the inside. He's just a wild thrower puncher that looks for big shots. And you know, when you only looking for big shots on a bigger guy like that, that's when you start losing because you're just firing shots and you tire yourself out quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said,
So,
man. So we're gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you guys for coming
mm,
and checking us out, man. Tapping into the Man Cave podcast from my co-host Luca, my boy Demi. You know what I'm saying? It was fun with you guys tonight, man. Talking Knicks basketball. Like I said, Luca's gonna come out with the Julius Randle, what you call it, stream or something like that. I'm gonna be looking out for that. So I'll see you on there whenever time drop. If you drop the link, I'll be up in there, man, talking that stuff, man. But like I said, we'll be on G Nation Sports tomorrow, watching Leather to the Face. You know what I'm saying? To me, so I throw you these guys other links and stuff like that. You can just subscribe and get on.
for sure.
So, man, thank everybody for coming out. Like I said, once again, hit that like and subscribe button. Also share it to your platform. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to Knicks Cast with Luca, talking Knicks basketball, Giants, all that stuff like this. And we'll be back, like I said, the next time, man. So see you until next time, man. See you guys later.
All right, peace.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man SGod. That's him. You feel the vibe? That's me. We going live. That's us. That like button shared, you been subscribed. Stadium. That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves. Yeah. That turnpike you can see, that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalize, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in the show called The-Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Remain calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, it's SGod. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know who it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man SGod. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Productions. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man SGod TOD. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.